Greetings, you people. Hello, my king. I was going to have been this Briarstone and doing day. Welcome to Sunday morning. Heroes, everybody, is about to begin in just a few seconds. And without further ado, let's get some voices of the people who are going to be joining me this morning. We have Quill18.
Hey, folks.
We have Demonac.
Greetings.
And we also have a Kiss for Luck.
Hey, you.
Just right quick, Demonac, your microphone, not your microphone, your video is broken. I don't know if that's, if you know that. I can hear you just fine, but your camera is broken. I do not see your face.
That is Orcs. It shows up mine, but okay.
Yeah, it's just a little bit weird. I might have to refresh. If I do, I will do that in just a moment. Without further ado, though, we're gonna get some FaceTime continuum in 3, 2, 1. Faces, except for one. Right? There's one face missing.
You can't see what I'm doing.
It's actually pretty disturbing.
We can see your heavenly glow when you talk. That's
yeah,
nice.
little bit of a thing happening over there on the side.
I've been making all kinds of weird faces, and you'll never know.
I make weird faces all the time, even when I have a straight face. And of course, Bella, the lovely Bella. I hear you, Bella. I think everybody else does too.
Yes, be quiet. I've already fed you all the cookies.
All the cookies. Right, everything's about to get back into order. Now, there is going to be the element of me needing to recount some story. I would suppose. It's been 2 whole weeks since we started this, or ended this last. And, right, so, where have we been? Does anybody else want to recount, or do you want me to recount it? I'll just do a summarize. First things first. What happened? Right, you guys went into a cave. Lance Rock, the Lord of Lance Rock, who may or may not have been possible ally, you'll never know, has been murdered by the protagonist of the story. And yeah, after that, you guys went back into town. There was a lot of other things that happened, some rumbling in the ground. You have discovered that there was indeed, in your own hometown of Red Larch, there was a conspiracy of sorts. And what they call the believers, I suppose. The higher-ups, certain individuals who happen to be well-known and well-appropriated people inside of Red Larch were all in on this believer side of things. These guys were being played, as best as you figure. They were being played by somebody whom you also dispatched not too long ago. He seemed to be a kind of interesting Earth-based priest, as best you can figure.
It wasn't that interesting.
No, it wasn't that interesting. Bouncing around, riding a rock around in the circle.
We never would have suspected LaRock to be an Earth priest.
Yeah, the rock. And you know what? I would like to say that I made up that name, but I unfortunately did not. That was indeed the name the guy was given. Right. So after that, you guys left Red Larch, and you harried off, I should say, to hey pals, you guys left to go to Lisan's farm, homestead. Right, okay, now...
Where Eric bonded with the children, yes.
Yes, I remember that, something about bacon, and of course he was denied bacon. That was unfortunate. At the Lisan homestead, you got to meet Lisan's older brother, Govanden. And he's a ranger. He's a very, very experienced individual. And you learned about somebody called the Arakoa. Not the Arakoa, that's the wrong name. I can't say it. It's spelt like that almost. Arakoa or something. I have no idea. But anyway, they're not the bird-like people from World of Warcraft. They are indeed humans. And they're not just
from World of Warcraft. They're also a race in D&D.
Indeed.
Yes.
Are they now?
But you're saying they're not that.
They're not
the
bird
little
people.
Murloc people?
What's that?
Little
No.
fishy people or something?
No, that would be the Kuatoa.
Another game?
Kuatoa, that's a
right,
Demonac's campaign. We have a lot of those.
They are around.
Yeah. So, right. So where was I? Okay.
ahead.
And you learned about them a little bit from your brother. Govanden told you a bit about them, and they're searching and seeking out and destroying people who happen to be associated with different elemental cults. That's what their specialty happens to be.
Good for them.
Yeah. Now, you guys are currently still at the homestead. You have not left the homestead, and there is a lot of talk about orcs, ice shield orcs, just to the north and probably to the east of a place called Bellard, where there's many homesteads and farms and ranches and all this sort of thing where they have been going through and breaking people's lives, taking their things and carting off not only the goods that the people have for themselves, but sometimes also the people. And in some cases, some very interesting things happen. And the fact that the orcs, some of them, have been taking up residence. Orcs don't usually do that. They don't stick around. They raid, pillage, leave. Raid, pillage, leave. They keep doing that.
Yeah.
But some of them have been sticking around, and for what? And that's just out of their behavior. That's out of their normal behavior. So, last I remember, you guys were saying that you wanted to go and check that
orcs
out. Now, do you still want to? You can totally take that back.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Why would we take that back?
Mm-hmm.
We have a lifetime history. Tao and I are going for orcs.
Indeed.
Yeah. Very high priority.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can rest overnight here. It's sort of early morning at this point. After all the talking and everything, you guys can rest over until the morning light, or if you want to, you can sleep in, and you can set off on the road back to Red Larch. Would be the way that Govanen would say. Go back to Red Larch, grab some provisions, and then head up the Desserin Path, I think is what the name of it is.
We're going to Bellard?
No, the Larch Path. Bellard, yes.
Yeah, okay, then we want the Larch Path across the bridge. Yeah. Okay.
The Larch Path is indeed the quickest way, but Govanen has traveled it before, and it is quite tricky. The idea... The best idea is to travel in groups. So his suggestion, and despite, if you guys want to take him up on it, is that, get hired on as a caravan guard and just get more people. The more people, the less of a chance that some random beast is going to come and try to attack. So that's just the idea.
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, if the beast kills the first 3 people it comes across and you're in a big group, that's how zebras survive. That's
it, exactly. Humans survive in packs. So there is that.
Push them out. That's good.
We have more hit points. It's much more likely the NPCs will die. So yeah, that's
if anything attacks for food, you have 3 bodies now for food, and they'll just probably leave you alone at that point. I'd imagine. You just sacrifices have to be made.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I think that's all the preliminary stuff. We can get down to the nitty-gritty. Resting overnight, is there anything that you guys want to do specifically?
Sleep.
Just sleep?
Sleep.
Yeah. Seems like the way to go.
Hits together, but sleep.
Could use some rest.
Okay. If you have already... What's that?
It's been a long haul the last couple of days. I went into town for pie, and it was like 2 days ago or something, right?
Tal's pies. No. Actually, no. It's only been a day. Not even 2 days. Yeah.
It was a very long day.
Mm-hmm.
But it was we were fighting like all overnight. We were down in that hole and that fell in the middle of Red Larch, and
yeah,
right.
It was like 2 or 3 in the morning by the time we got back here.
Haul.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, so. Right, so you guys can rest overnight here. Nothing will happen overnight. And so now it is morning time, and you guys can set off for Red Larch. Heading back to Red Larch,
Govanen coming with us? Is Govanen coming with us?
Govanen? No. Govanen wants to head that way himself. In fact, he was going to head back to the high forest anyway. He has some business there as one of the Emerald Enclave members. He will be heading back that way. He's made some pretty strong alliances in that group.
Cool.
Okay. On the road, heading back to Red Larch, you do come across your brother, one of your younger brothers. In fact, he's the bard, the singer, the guy. He's heading back to the farm.
We have all my brothers home.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming to visit. So
yeah, but now we just miss you if we go back to town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Carwin, hello. You have any news for us? Give me a whole hug. Welcome home. Interesting times here. What's been going on with you? Where have you been?
I actually just came back from a sort of a long overstay in Waterdeep.
Oh, you were south.
I went there for the, big city, big money, they say. Honestly, just a lot more smells.
Smells.
City,
How's
city is
Lashana?
big, money mediocre. Mostly same size.
But he is full of rumors from that area. And specifically, there is an issue around the outskirts of Waterdeep where it sort of seems like what's going on. You guys sort of get it really fast. What's going on outside of Red Larch here with the elemental things? That sort of thing is also happening in Waterdeep. Guards have reported some sightings of lightning striking the sky, not the sky striking down or anything. It just looks weird. Like it's just like lightning sort of like coming up from the ground and just blazing across the hillside. And yeah, even the tides have been much higher than normal. So
See, I have a hard time imagining that this little, I don't know, 2-bit cult that we ran into could possibly be responsible for something affecting Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting.
You think that there's more cultists and potentially more substantial cultists.
Yeah,
Yep.
lightning, all very interesting. So, Mr. Bird Brother, you have you heard anything about my brother, Alexei? He looks a little like me, but prettier, smaller.
No, I'm sorry, I haven't. Nobody that fits your facial structure, at least. I do know that a lot of people do end up going missing in Waterdeep of late.
Waterdeep?
Yeah, Waterdeep.
Yeah.
There is a lot of concern in that regard. People are just not returning home from work.
Is there news from the
Have you
east?
heard anything about who make people go missing or what?
Well, no. I, as a bard, most people like to tell me the stories that they want to tell me, that I can work into ballads and such. And I have nothing really permanent to go on. All I do have to go on is the sort of rumor that there are cave-side or beach-side caves that have been swarming with undead lately.
Always with undead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's just the story. I don't know. I didn't go out that way.
That might be something else for us to check out after we deal with these orcs.
Mm-hmm. Could be a thing. And that's about it. He bids you farewell, Lisan. He wants to see more of you. You could tell him where you're going, and maybe he'll head that way.
Ooh. Well, our Govanin is here. We're all chatting. Yes. I mean, well, we're getting news from him, finding out Lashana, she pregnant yet? Nothing? No, it's okay. She's doing good. You guys are still together. All those things. We're heading off to Bellard. Orcs. What can I say, Carwin? Orcs.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to go. He knows Tao. Remember her? And in this, you remember Eric. Remember the guy we were trying to heal and it didn't work out really well?
You almost see like a light bulb go off in his head.
Yeah.
He's like, oh. Because this is totally out of his realm. Because you were not supposed to be walking.
Been an exciting, interesting few days. And the news that you're telling us is really fitting in with what we're finding it's going around here. We've had some really strange storms. We've run into cultists we didn't know about. There's been some undead activity over at Lance Rock. Some strange, I know it's been a really rough couple of days here. I've got to ask you, you're talking about things with the elements, the lightning and stuff. Has there been any news further east? Is this I'm just wondering how widespread this problem actually is.
Not more to the east. It all seems to be from the news that I gather, and it all seems to be coming more from the more from here, the Desserin Valley. Most of it seems to be coming from here, from the north.
But it's even as far as Waterdeep though. Like did you see anything on the road coming up? That's a long trip.
I traveled with quite a large group. The caravan I was traveling with was, I think it was 8 cart long, or 8 train long, I guess. Like, well, what do you call that? I can't remember. 8 wagons long. Thank you. And guarded by several guards. And no, it was pretty quiet on our way up. There was the occasional sort of skirmish with hungry wolves or whatnot, but we didn't even have to kill them. They sort of moved away, just because, I don't know, frightened them off, I guess.
And no weird weather or anything.
In terms of the weird weather, that is one of the things that really, makes me a little bit aggravated, because when I want to write some ballads, I want to, put in some descriptions about what people have been seeing, and I haven't seen it.
You didn't see anything yesterday?
No.
No. Okay.
All right, and so yeah, he notes down. For instance, Eric though, when he sees Eric, and Eric's now got his legs, you can kind of see him like look at you, and he writes down something in his little notepad real fast about.
There's a story for you.
There's a story, yeah.
Yes.
There might be a song at some point that he's singing about.
The giant.
You got magic legs, can it, Dan?
You got legs again. All right.
I am not so interesting. It's fine.
So very good.
Okay, I just want to point out something I'm seeing in chat here. Somebody said something about she's got a lot of brothers. Actually, I have 6 brothers, and we have a long history. There is some information that's going up over on my website right now, kissforluck.net, about my family and maps and different things. But the big point that I'm leading up to is I find it interesting that she has all these brothers, because that's screaming targets to me. So Briarstone, no.
I don't know what you mean. Well,
No.
My brain never even went there, but it has now. Thank you. No. All right. Yeah, no. 6
with the winking.
6 brothers. I mean, Catholic maybe. Let's go for it. Back to Red Larch.
Go for it.
Red Larch, you guys gonna grab some provisions and everything. Mr. Harburg, the constable,
Oh, right. Okay.
he sees you as you're walking through, well, the main center there, and he approaches Lisan. He approaches you directly, and
no more side quests.
Yeah, no. He says he wants to thank you again for helping with for helping expose sort of the seedier things that have been going around in town of late. It's really weird. It's going to be a bit unstable in Red Larch, as these are prominent members of Red Larch. These are bigwigs, right? And he has since been able to find more people associated with the Believers, people that you didn't know were or part of it. And he's not telling you the names, but there are more people than even you guys knew about, and they're getting more intel every day on the situation.
Yeah, so it's like the 1%, except it is more than 50% of the named people in town.
Sounds like a witch hunt is starting.
Yeah, well, it could be a thing like that. There's also Walver. I can't barely say his name.
Guy?
Weird name. Wagon guy. Yeah. Anyway, he's missing. He's gone. They can't find him anywhere. So there's that.
Wait a minute. The wagon master that has his own.
The She-Hulk
works
one,
alone?
right? The one that was the one who had a ladder going down to the place in his shop.
And he's gone.
Yep, they went to go pick him up because they know for a fact he was part of it.
And he was part of the bad stuff, right? So are they gonna like auction off all his stuff?
You know what? There's another Wagon Works too. They might have dibs or an auction. Yeah, that might be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's not here anymore. He in terms of what Constable Harbrick wants to say, he's escaped. And as far as he's concerned, he is now a fugitive. And if you happen to come across him, preferably alive, if you can, bring him back.
Huh.
Okay. Now, there's also a nice, like a good wagon train still in town. You sort of get the idea it could be the one that your brother, the Bard,
Carwin
was
just
part
came
of.
up with.
Yeah. Now, half of it apparently is going more, like, further north, like Mirabar way. And the other half of it is going more to, actually going to Bellard. They say that specifically. They're going to Bellard. They have goods to deliver as well as pick up in terms of, like, farming and tools and such. So you guys can be a part of that if you like.
All right, I've had used to do jobs like this, so we'll approach the caravan master. I'm not sure what you call him, but whoever's leading up this troop, and ask if they want some extra escorts through here. Is that a Tau, Eric? Sound like a plan?
Well, I mean, Tau is, you know, if we were traveling alone, it's going to be fine because I could be the widow the whole way.
Okay.
Especially leaving in town. I'm just going to be Tau and not the widow. So, luckily, I got that advance for the barge right-in job from the Centrum, so I can drop a couple of coins to be a passenger.
Okay. All right. Oh. Okay, this could be interesting though if we run into something.
Well, and in particular, you know, with such a big wagon train and with such cultist activity going around, there's always a possibility that there could be some people within the wagon train itself that is kind of dubious. For all we know, Welver is trying to use this to escape town. So it might actually be good to have someone who is not, you know, guard/adventurer in here who can go around and ask a few more questions.
Okay.
I like it, yeah.
Not bad.
A bit
We have an
incognito.
undercover spy. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's making of spies.
I'll disguise this cavern guard guy. It's more believable.
Yeah, you do fit the part pretty well. Interestingly enough, though, you don't carry a weapon, and as every other guard that's there, they want to, like, one even has an offhanded weapon that he offers you. But
No,
I mean, I don't know.
No, it's okay. I have magic weapon.
Hello.
I concentrate, it appears. I stop my fist in front of his face. It's just like
Okay.
it's fine.
All right. So you guys are going to be heading with the caravan that's going through the Larch Path. What's it called?
Yes, it's the Larch Path.
Larch Path.
It goes like northeast to just before the river there.
Okay.
Ooh, we have to cross a bridge where there'll be trolls.
Well, I don't know. We're gonna have to find out when we get there. Actually, no. Well, the thing is that when it comes to these things, people who travel these areas a lot, they know the ins and outs of these roads and the dangers that happen to be. Apparently, this particular road, if you stay on it, right, things are okay. There is, as you guys are getting prepared to leave, one of the caravaniers looks at looks at Tau specifically, because Tau looks like a normal person and could be completely put the fear of beasts into. Tells you a story about the abandoned quarry just as we pass through this path, just to the west of the path. You can
listen
see
with
it.
rapt attention.
Ooh, you can see it from the road. And there's been many a lord that has wanted to claim that quarry again for themselves, and they have brought in entire legions in times past, and they never was able to hold it. There's bodies scattered in and around those abandoned ruins, and nobody knows what happens. People go in, and they never return. Okay.
Ruins?
Yeah, it's called the Abandoned Quarry.
Wait, is this the quarry that's in town?
No. This is further out.
Going the story cropped up fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Scarlet Monasteries are up there too, on the other side of the road. It's something like that.
Scarlet, yeah, I know what you mean.
Something like that.
Although, interestingly enough, you've been looking at the wrong maps again. You need to stop doing that.
It's my map. It's the one I've edited here.
Oh, okay. I guess some people would know about the actual buildings there.
You
But
said I'd worked like five years or more as a guide taking caravans all over these roads.
no, that's true.
I know this stuff.
Yeah, you know some of
And
it. Yeah.
geography's one of my talents.
So somewhere north of town, there's another quarry with some ruins where people keep disappearing and stuff. Yeah, okay. We'll want to check that out too at some point.
Yeah, at
It's
some
off
point.
it's off the road though. We don't.
Probably not
Quest
with the
log is
caravan
full.
though. If you guys are going to be with the caravan. Yeah. Also, there is the really important quest of, well, important to you guys, of the Ice Shield Orcs. So you guys are going to be heading that way, at least. Right. So with this caravan, I'm just going to kind of like move forward really fast.
Okay.
With this caravan, nothing seems to come around. Although there is one thing I want to mention. 1 second. I want to roll for it. Okay, no. So that doesn't happen. All right. So you guys quite safely. It takes a couple days there, but you know to move all the goods at a reasonable pace. It takes a couple days, but you guys reach Bellard. And inside of Bellard, it you know, as everybody sort of like follows the caravan to a full stop, starts unloading some goods and then reloading some goods, you guys can, you know, pretty much do whatever you want this time.
Right, but if we can rewind just a little bit, during the trip, I want to be going around talking to more people, sort of making friends. I mean, I got my you know, Jedi mind trick, you know, persuasion, sort of diplomacy powers, and I want to sort of go around and establish that Welver's not in this wagon train.
Okay, all right. So, so how are you? How would you go about it? Are you asking people if they've seen Welver, or are you just sort of just talking to everybody and?
Yeah, trying to talk to everyone, trying to get a good sense of who's in the caravan, that no one's disguised. If I can peek into the various wagons, you know, you know, subtly, day, night, that sort of thing, that would be good.
Okay, sure. Just do one roll. I'm trying to figure out which one's the best.
Investigation?
Investigation, I think, would be the best. Yeah, do an investigation roll.
Okay.
Okay.
16.
16. That's going to be plenty. You notice a few things, but the most important thing that I want to mention is that you do not find any sight or any information about Welver. That he's not part of this train, at least, and nobody here seems to have any paraphernalia that links back to him in any way that you can discern. But you do notice that they're carrying more than just you know, tools for farming. And indeed, they also have a lot of fermented goods. Like a large part of the caravan, like one whole cart is nothing but booze. And you don't know why. But where exactly is this cart headed? This is enough for a king's feast. This is huge amount of liquor, if you will. This is the biggest cart in this caravan is carrying nothing but booze. So
interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I know it's too early for break. Caffeine just kicked in. I have to pee real bad. So you guys continue. I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me think some exposition.
During Tao's investigation and chatting with people, do we find out what this big order is for? Is this just going up to an inn? Is this a regular sort of occurrence? I mean, I would be talking to the guards. I'm doing some scouting stuff out front. Are we getting more rumors off the roads, more problems? And what is this? Is there a party? Is there a big wedding that's happening? You know, oh, there's so many goodies there. Wow, what's going on? So,
right. Interestingly enough, when it comes to the final destination for some of this booze, and in fact, because you guys are now in Bellard, you are seeing some of the booze get offloaded, but it's just a small fraction of it getting offloaded here in Bellard, and it's sort of being the big kegs, these big casks are being rolled towards the inn, the Night Watcher Inn, which is in Bellard, yeah. But in terms of like where the rest of it is going, for whatever reason, unless you want to make a persuasion check, the what do you call him there? The merchant responsible for this he's got a tight lip about it. He's not telling you where it is, unless of course you can persuade him. You can do a persuasion check, and if it's high enough, really, of course it is. All right, so he's telling you specifically that this whole cart is going to hopefully get more guards to make the long journey up to Mirabar. Mirabar, there is indeed a royal wedding.
Oh, in Mirror. We lost Demonac.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Demon. We have two Demonacs.
Why did everything went weird on my screen?
Mine too.
I don't know, mine froze completely, so I went back out and back into Roll20. And now I can see everyone again.
Well, yeah, and then everybody else's cam died on my overlay. What the hell happened?
Oh.
Okay. I'm just gonna reload. 1 second. We'll be back in just a second, everybody. Hopefully faces will be in the right place. I'm gonna say that Demonac broke it. Demonac broke all the things.
Flying.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So most people are back in their normal position. Are we back? Okay. Everything's back to normal. Excellent. For whatever reason that happened. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Now, what else can I do? I need more exposition while we wait for Quill. Right. You guys can head into the inn. You made a long journey to this location. Bellard is not a very big place. In fact, it's smaller than Red Larch, but it does have a nice inn. In fact, I dare say the inn is nicer than the one in Red Larch. So it seems like maybe they're trying to grow, and they're doing it by way of making the amenities of the place nicer than anywhere else around.
Going for tourism trade. I like it.
Thing.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we can go in and check it out. I have to ask around about Alexei.
Oh yes, yeah. Ask around about Alexei. Do a investigation roll. And are you doing it specifically in the inn, or are you just doing it in and around the entire area?
Mostly in the inn.
Mostly in the inn. Okay.
At least initially, yeah. It seems like the inn is most of the town, so I don't know. Only got 13.
Let's see what I can give you. Okay, I'll tell you what happens. With you asking around about that, there is... Where is she? I will find it.
So Brother Alexei went missing in Waterdeep. It looked a little like a tiny version of me, you know.
Good. Well, you talked to a lady by the name of Sinya. And she tells you that she hasn't seen anybody of your likeness specifically, but she does tell you that there was someone of small stature in this inn not too long ago that was wearing a golden mask and was very, very intent. Or it almost seemed like, because, you know, she's her occupation in times past, she feels that he was eavesdropping on a conversation that the Mirabar... Hello! Oval! $10, thank you, man! And everybody got more generosity coming in from Oval.
Neat.
But yeah, so...
and Golden Mask was eavesdropping on...
The Mirabar delegation. The same Mirabar delegation that you guys learned has gone missing. And of course, if you remember, you also have Mirabar little currency, if you will, that you picked off the body off the the purse, so to speak, of the Earth Priest or whatever that you guys killed.
Now, when you say small stature, you mean I mean small compared to me. You don't mean like halfling, right?
No, just normal,
like,
but
normal person, I guess.
Yeah, in fact, much more normal than your size.
Yeah.
Right.
You get a lot of masks in here. You'd think Gold Mask guy would look pretty weird and suspicious to everyone.
Well, we get all sorts. Most are, well, they're interesting individuals. They come in sort of to protect the caravans. I guess it's, you know, nobody discriminates when you have a good sword arm.
Yeah. Well, I can understand. Guy has gold mask. You probably think he pays well, gives good tips or something. But can you describe mask a little more? I mean, I know gold mask. Probably not a lot of gold masks around. Probably know when you see it. But I'm curious.
Yeah. No. All she has is she knows that the mask was gold. She spends a lot of time in the Watchful Night, this inn, just to catch Quill up. They're in an inn right now, called the Watchful Night.
The watchful. It wasn't Night Watcher. It's the Watchful Night.
Yeah. Watchful Night. Did I have that right? Yeah, Watchful Night. And what was I saying? Right. And you know, she tries to remain, you know, inconspicuous. She doesn't want to, you know, look like she's looking. So she didn't get close to the guy because she found him very off-putting. And interestingly enough, too, she does go ahead and tell you that when the delegation left town, so the delegation was here, they left town, then they went missing. But when they left town, so did, shortly thereafter, the man wearing the golden mask. So she finds that very ominous, if you will.
Yeah, no, it's pretty ominous. So ominous, I think I should buy you a drink. Hey.
But she will not refuse. She will not refuse. If you want, you can roll a charisma check. Just straight up charisma.
Okay. Where did I put my character sheet?
Tao managed to find out that all
my
of the
character sheet closed when I refreshed my thing. That's why.
some of the booze that this caravan was carrying, some of it was going to this inn, this Watchful Night Inn, but the majority of it is actually going back up north to Mirabar for a royal wedding.
Right. There's...
So thanks for finding that out, Tao.
Good.
Keen on my charisma there.
What's
Again,
interesting with
I
those...
use the saves that I don't have bonuses for because it's easier. There's no stat button on my sheet.
Okay, very good.
What's interesting with the with those trade bars from Mirabar, like, you know, I don't know, because it's interesting that it wasn't just gold coins or whatever. It's specifically these trade bars that we found on that body. Is someone from Mirabar involved, or it sounded like our cultists back in town were raiding caravans and kidnapping people and whatever, so that could have just been stolen from this and that. But it is interesting that there's, you know, something pretty significant going on in Mirabar at this time. We'll have to keep that in mind.
And to attack a delegation, right? I mean, what do you get from a delegation? There's not going to be anything in the way of real monetary value. They don't dress in, you know, fancy wear. They're a delegation.
Not in gold masks anyway.
Sorry.
Usually not in gold masks anyway.
Yeah. So what do you get from that? That's the other thing that makes the news around the towns and everything. Everybody's talking about this missing delegation. It just doesn't happen. They're like political figures. Yes. And now they're missing, and that's, you know, what do you get from that? Nobody really understands. But anyway, there is at this moment. Actually, yeah, no. At this moment, you hear. I was supposed to roll and then say at this moment, but anyway, at this moment, sorry, you hear the warning bells going off in the city. There's just like a ding, 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 fire, fire, fire. You hear like the words fire, and people are rushing out of the Watchful Night Inn. Okay,
well, I would do that too. I would go help.
I want to go see what's going on.
We have just. Have we lost Demonac again?
Nope.
Demonac, you have been steadily just like 1 FPS sounding like a robot since the stream started. I don't know if there's anything going on with your internet.
It shouldn't be. Anything, I got my internet upgraded in between. That should make it worse, you'd think.
Right.
Actually, that's the first time I've heard it that way. He's been sounding fine for me.
Yeah, he's been
I don't have video
fine,
for him,
sounding
though.
mostly fine, but now he's freeze framing. Yeah, you're stuck in one interesting look there, buddy. I think he's gone.
He's scary.
Yeah.
And we've lost him.
I think we lost him. All right. As we wait for him to come back, hopefully he'll be back pretty soon. Yeah, so I don't want to get too far ahead. What do I do? You don't want to take a break, I guess? That's kind of weird.
Well, give him a second. It might not take long. We got people asking about Dungeons and Dragons and what it is we're doing.
Okay.
But okay, you said you know what we're doing. What are we doing? Explain things.
Right, I know what we can do. Because I don't want to get too far ahead in terms of story, because then I'll just have to say it again.
Yeah, say it again.
We could let's think this through. Oh, seems like he's coming back. Or is he?
Well, I do want to say that now that we've separated from the wagon train and all that, and we are in another town. I will be going around in the guise of the widow, basically full time now.
You are in the guise of the widow now. Okay.
Yeah.
Found a nice, quiet back alley and came out scary.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of a phone booth.
I was gonna say I found a phone booth.
Dun da 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 da. All right. So, right, there's a fire going on. I'm trying to think of what I can tell you now. You know, I can tell you.
Hello,
This will be short. What you notice real fast, you guys, is that there's no fire in town. In fact, no, there's just a big cloud, a big billowing smoke cloud on the horizon, and it's plains from here, so you can sort of see what's burning in the distance. It seems like
What direction?
It is from Bellard, sort of to the northeast. Well, more east than north, if you will.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a billowing cloud of smoke, and people are immediately jumping to conclusions, saying that they bet it's the Orcs. They bet the Orcs they're getting really brave. They're getting closer and closer and closer to Bellard. Bellard is starting to feel a little bit of a pinch here. They're not getting as much food from these surrounding farms as they used to either. So this is really aggravating.
Between different things that are going on, and we haven't, and maybe we just didn't get a chance to ask that about the Orcs in the area. What's been going on? I mean, that's why we're here, right?
Right.
That hasn't come up again, but I mean,
was asking about other stuff, but this is why you guys are here.
Yeah.
We have to go call the orc herd.
Yeah. Call the Orcs. Yeah.
So this is probably an outlying farm or house, we think, that is actually being attacked at this moment.
Yeah, in fact, you hear it. You hear somebody say, "That's Arendelle Farm." You know, they actually name it.
Okay.
They know exactly. Thank you, Trash Can Man, for killing everybody.
Oh, Trash Can Man. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Did you catch the $50 earlier? I don't remember if we
No.
acknowledged that one.
$50? No, I didn't see a $50. Who was that? Oh, Chemical Crash. Dude, thank you.
Not good.
Yay, Sunday Morning Heroes. Yeah, we got the $50 from Chemical Crash. Did not come through that I saw.
We did.
And then-
I found it somewhere else. I didn't see it here before, but thank you for that.
Craziness.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. And then the $10 from Olful for a fun live stream with all the glory of bugs. And of course, the $100 just came in from Trash Can Man. A gift to our Lord King and God of Games. Thank you very much. All right. So, Demonac, just to catch you up, there is a fire going on, but not in town. So this is the Arendelle Farm. I don't know if you caught on to
I
that.
heard most of it. Most of the time I was present in spirit.
Okay, in spirit. Very good.
In spirit. Ooh. Okay, so Tao, I'm thinking you and I at least. Derek, come on, this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
Gotta save the day. There's going to be guards
heard a
either
lot of
from
good
town
thing
coming
of-
out.
Have not heard lots of good things about orcs. We'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Good.
In fact, you recognize right now some of there's not many, mind you, but there are a handful of people getting some weapons. They seem to be
Good.
ducking
Let's go.
in and grabbing some weapons and that sort of thing. And oddly enough, though,
Hi,
not many are
hello.
venturing past the walls of the town. They're just sort of, I don't know what you can call it. You can tell that they seem sort of nervous, but they're like just hanging around town. They're like, are they coming this way? Type of situation.
Ah, okay.
They're
So
ready
getting
for
ready
defense.
to defend themselves.
Yeah. Even
But
though
not
this farm is like, a few miles away, they feel like, maybe they have to protect themselves now. Fear does, I suppose.
Okay, we still have Govanen with us.
Govanen is still here.
Okay.
Govanen, while you guys were in the inn, Govanen just sort of took a walk around town. He didn't exactly say where. You can inquire if you want. But otherwise, he's not saying much.
Well, right now, I mean, we have. If there's a farm going down, then if there's orcs there, right now is when we need to move.
We need
so
to
who's
go.
the best persuasion check? I mean, let's try to get these people. Come on, guys, you've got weapons. Let's go out and do something about it. Are you going to stand here and wait for the orcs to attack your town?
Does anyone know how many orcs we're talking about here?
Let's go find out.
Yeah, no, in terms of the last scout reports, there's a lot. Most of the time,
Like 6?
You could do a persuasion check, but it's a really tough persuasion check.
That's why I want to know what the number is. If we're talking about 300 orcs versus max 50 human, meleeers, militia, then we're not bringing these people out with us.
No.
We're just going to go and scout and watch. But if we're talking about a couple of dozen orcs and we can round up 50 people here, then it'll be persuasion check time. So can you give us something more precise than lots?
Yeah, the last scout reports, they're splintered, but they have an idea that it's around, at least in this area, this immediate area. It's around 40 to 50 orcs, and they're never, to their knowledge, they're splinter groups, right? They send like 4 over here, and they send 10 over here, and they just they're raiding in multiple directions.
So I just want to get this straight. There seems to be perhaps 40, 50 total orcs in the area, but now, and this is the part I'm not getting. You said they're going to farms, they're raiding, and some are staying. Are all 40 and 50 staying there, or are they leaving, a family of orcs to start farming or whatever it is they're doing? And then now we have 30 moving on to the next farm, and then some are staying there, and 25 are moving on.
I'm sure the scouts don't know their intentions exactly, but we're still, that you'd think they would know, like, is it 50 orcs moving as a group?
Yeah.
Or they think 50 orcs in the vicinity of the town, but at this farm there were like a dozen or 2 dozen or something.
Yeah, no, you can easily get some information from a nearby guard, and the nearby guard, to his knowledge, there is a force specifically of like 40 orcs.
Okay.
And not from that, there's other splinter groups of orcs. So there's more than 40, if you will. There's a lot.
Okay, so now we're actually clear. There is a force of around 40 orcs that is going around as a force of like 40 orcs, and this is part of like an army of orcs.
Yeah.
And so, ballpark figure, if we look at the townspeople, how big of a militia could we potentially form out of that? Able-bodied people.
In the town of Bellard right now, there would be. There are a lot of workers and such, not really, what you call fighters, but out of that, you could probably easily, if you count some of the older children there, some of the 16 to 18-year-olds, you could probably get a force of around 40 or 50.
Yeah, okay, so we're not going to do that. If we're using common folk, I'd want at least like a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio, so...
That's not good. Okay, but you were saying that some of these farms that have been raided, I mean, I'm assuming those farmers, if any are still alive, somebody's escaped because you've gotten this news. Are they now living in town, and there are farms out there that are being populated by smaller groups of orcs?
There are some people who live on those farms out there, or did, I should say, live on those farms out there. They are in town right now. Most of them spend a lot of time either staying in the Watchful Night Inn. Some of them are drinking themselves heavily. And then one of the main things is that you've gathered is the fact that the ones that have decided to stay on their farms, like despite the fact that there is this orc threat, as far as the scouts have reported, there's no bodies. They're not finding a whole bunch. Well, they're finding a couple, right? But they're not finding a whole family of bodies on these farms. It's like the orcs are taking not only the food and the goods, but they're also taking people. Right? They're carting them away. For what purpose? Who knows? But,
do they know where they're carting them to?
What's that? Sorry.
They know where they're bringing the people?
Yeah, it's at the center of the camp. There's an orc camp. There's an actual center to it, but that camp keeps moving around, mind you. But there is an actual big orc force. That is where most of the people are.
Okay, so that big orc force. You say we've got a center camp.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the 40 orcs?
Yeah.
No. That he said the 40 orcs is a group that is part of this orc army.
No.
I'm still feeling lost here. Sorry, guys.
I'm pretty sure Briarstone said 40 orcs was the center army, was the main group
in this area. Yeah, this seems like to be like the mass is around.
So we have a nomadic camp of orcs that are going to farms, taking the people back as hostages, prisoners, food, whatever it is they're doing with them, and that camp is moving around through the area.
Yeah.
But you said that the orcs were staying on the farms.
Some of them. Like,
so that 40 must be getting less and less and less. If we have 40 orcs that come in and we have 5 over here and 4 over there and 3 over there and 2 over there, we don't have 40 people in the middle anymore.
This is after. This is the latest scout report, right? The latest scout report says that there's 40 orcs now, roughly.
Okay.
That's not okay. So that's after the fact of assuming that several have stayed in other places.
Okay.
Right. So no. That's no.
So there might be more than 40 orcs in the region as a whole.
Exactly.
In smaller bands, but the center group is around 40.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
that's why it's hard to get a hard set number on what to expect, and that's why people who are like, for instance, in Bellard, while the guards are not even, because they can't leave Bellard unprotected, they can't mass a large enough army to leave these walls and expect that to be a great idea. Because the orcs are everywhere. So if they leave here, the orcs attack and they have to come back. Now they're outside the walls. That's a huge disadvantage. So they're staying inside the walls. Right? So, yeah. So that's why. So Bellard's protecting itself, which unfortunately means that a lot of the outlying farms and villages don't have a lot of protection. Unless, of course, they were larger ranches, which do have, some of them have walls.
And the orcs haven't made any demands or talked or anything like that. They just show up and sort of raid.
They're just showing up and grabbing stuff and going.
Okay, so the problem is, what are we going to do against such a big group of orcs? I mean, certainly we'd like to go and, I don't know, save these prisoners or whatever. We don't know what's going on there. We'd like to get them out of here. We could, very much like what I think we did with the Bloodhammer clan, or what you did, you and your father, Lisan, with the Bloodhammer clan, is a lot of sort of hit and run, harassing tactics.
Chip away at
and
it.
just convince them to go. We could look into doing something like that. We could look into sneaking into their camp and doing something. We could. I mean, it sounds like at this point, a good idea would just be to go out there and scout.
We're going to find out what's going on. I mean, we've been taking out smaller groups of orcs at the farms that have stayed behind, that are sitting off alone now. Their own scouts that are going out, start chipping away at people, things like that. So yeah, we're going to have to make it in small. I mean, we can't take out
3 of us. We take 6 orcs at a time, then do again. But we can't take. We get surrounded by 40 orcs. It's not good.
3 of you. Govannon seems.
Govannon? 4?
Govannon seems like he just got left out of this.
Like he wandered off.
No. He's coming back. He hears you talking right now. He's coming back. And in fact, he does have some news.
You have better scout reports?
Cough it up.
Say it's easy to get information from scouts, but it was very confusing.
Well, whatever. There was an animal that was sent. It was a bird actually that was sent with a message to the member of the Emerald Enclave that stays in this town. I have their name somewhere if you guys want to find out. I have to look it up. But anyway, the message was that the ranch. There's a ranch. It's a really large establishment. One of the largest ranches in the area is sending for aid. And he also got, along with that message, there was another message being sent to the elves of where is it there? Of the High Forest. There was obviously a messenger that was sent in that direction as well. Now, whether or not the elves of High Forest is going to strike out against the orcs, I mean, it seems probable that if they knew for a fact that they had the numbers or at least a winning chance, they would probably strike out of the forest because they're protected in the forest. Coming out of the forest to meet the orcs head on is kind of weird. Does anyone of you have knowledge of, like, I don't know, like war? Have you
war?
experienced war? About tactics, anything like that? No. Okay. All right.
My dad and I fighting orcs the last time they were around is about it.
Yeah. And,
guerrilla warfare, but
yeah,
guerrilla warfare.
Well, that's actually worked out for people in the past, though. When you have scattered pieces of people everywhere, the best idea is insurgent groups, right? I mean, so instead of moving with a large force, it might behoove you, I like using that word, to move as a small group, to sort of like strike out and take out like individual targets. But you will need to scout.
Well, that's what Tao said a minute ago. We need to just go out and do some scouting. We need to find out. We need some hard information. We need to know what we're up against. Govannon needs to, contact the the elves in the high forest. If there's, people that can come to help, if we can coordinate something down the way, he needs to get more information that way, but we need to go out and do some scouting, I think.
Well, he's already sent a message to the elves of High Forest, and the message was regarding the fact that he is on his way there.
All right.
And, of course, the way there seems to be quite treacherous. So, yeah, that's all he's done so far. Now, we can go back and you can send a message saying that he's on his way to a certain area, and then maybe the elves of High Forest can meet him there or something like that. But it's gonna be interesting. It's up to you guys how you want to proceed. Now, I understand that this seems very dangerous, and it is. It really, really is. I want to stress that this is really dangerous. However, there are other people's lives at stake out there on the farms.
Yeah.
And these farms, these ranches...
This does not seem very immediate. This seems like we should do something, like, now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while you guys are talking and deciding what to do, that farm on the hillside, just a few miles out, is still burning.
Yeah, well, we should head in that direction. One thing that would be nice is, I don't know if the orcs send out patrols, if they have sort of scouts out, if they have this or that. If we can catch groups of orcs, in 2s and 3s.
Yes.
Or 6.
Or 6.
Or 6. Or
what's the time of day right now?
Or any survivors that may be trying to leave that farm that are being chased by orcs. There might be people who are trying to get away that we could be helping out.
Flood convenience. We should look for one of those.
No. It is, currently the time is late morning.
Okay. Let's go.
Let's head out.
Do it.
Okay. So you guys are going to head out.
I don't know about, like, horses and stuff, right? Because I'm not sure I have a horse, since I only had a borrowed horse, and I was just riding with the caravan, so I probably didn't need one.
Right.
I was assuming we left our horses when we joined this caravan. I think we're walking.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
So.
well, walking also might be pretty smart because horses do draw attention.
Yeah, they're not as stealthy.
Not as stealthy, for sure. So, yeah, you guys ask for permission to leave Bellard through the east gate there. You do not get stopped by the soldiers, but they do look at you like you're a bit daft. But they say, you know what, We're
badass mofos.
Yeah, this is the stuff of heroes, right? While they stay behind walls. Well, here's the thing. One of the guards, I will say, seems like he wants to come with you, but he can't because that's not his orders, right? He almost says, good luck to you. He gives you the best send-off as he can. And, that's it. That's all. You just got the words, good luck, ringing in your ears as you leave the town of Bellard.
Yes, well, we're carrying our own wall, Eric.
Yep,
here.
This is true.
Or Eric, and we have the scary lady here with us, so that's good. We can do this.
Okay.
So we're not like marching down the middle of the road here. We're going to be taking this a little bit easy. Scouting's my thing. I guess I'm scouting.
Yep. In fact, everybody roll spot checks. It is a plain, right? It's not, it's got sparse tree covered. It's not a lot of trees, mind you. So you can see pretty far from the rolling hilltops.
So perception, nature, survival, which one am I rolling?
Well, actually, best roll for you, Lisan, would be survival. Just do a survival check. Because your favorite enemy is Orc.
Not brilliant?
Right, no, that's not good at all. You know what, I'm going to do a survival check for, because his favorite enemy, your brother's favorite enemy, is also, of course, Orc.
Oh yeah, the whole favorite enemy thing.
And he gets a bonus to that, +2.
Yeah, actually, the whole favorite enemy. And which?
Where's
I don't
that?
know which one. I don't even know which one to roll for that.
I got my sheet somewhere. Go grab it.
We're rolling perception, yeah?
So those are dreadful.
I came out with 14. It's not bad at all.
So okay, no, he's okay. So. You
Okay,
came up with it? Okay,
Kyle's
nice.
got a nice big one.
So the spot check. Tal, you got a spot check of 20. You do notice you have really good eyes at this point. You can sort of see leaving through the flicker of the flames in the distance and heading sort of towards you guys, but not exactly. Like coming towards you off and a little bit further off to the north, more north west, if you will, a few orcs. You can't, spot how many. You just see movement, and you discern it as being orcs. You also see in tow some wagons leaving the burning wreckage.
Orc wagons, huh?
No, well,
They
not
have
orc
wagons?
wagons. No, just wagons.
Oh, wagons. They
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, discerning the fact that they maybe took some wagons from the farm. So there's that. Also, I would like to point out that the survival check for Govanen at this particular point has he's picked up a couple of orc footprints in the area, and there's 2 of them, and he determines them to be scouts, actually orc scouts.
I like that number.
Look.
There are
Not
orc scouts in the
Sorry,
area.
Eric, but 2 is good. We could start with 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's track them.
Okay, you guys gonna go after the 2 orc scouts in the area? Okay.
Sure.
I mean-
I'll try and stay just enough behind to hopefully not mess up their stealth too much.
Okay. Let me just find which one is it going to be. We can do it here. I think.
I mean, there's a lot to be said about going directly to the farm to see if there's anyone, still there or anything like that. But I think
did the orc wagon movement look like it was coming towards us, or is going somewhere in some discernible direction?
Yeah, so it's going more north, but I mean coming out the west side of the farm and going more north. And the
Right.
fire seems to be spreading. It's still not at its full ferocity at the moment, but yeah, no, the fire is definitely spreading.
Okay, so we have 2 tracks from 2 orcs coming toward us or going back toward the farm, and the wagons that are leaving the farm. The movement we saw, is it coming toward us? Is it going north, south?
It's going mostly north.
That's going away from us
Yep.
to the north.
Mm-hmm.
And our tracks are doing what?
The tracks are heading actually sort of towards the farm.
They're going back to the farm.
They're
so,
going back to the farm.
well, that's the way. That's where we're heading. Okay.
Okay, so you
Yep.
guys are heading specifically towards the farm. I will grab you. Actually, just grab both. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of interesting things happening very, very soon. Right, copy. And there. There we go.
Sounds totally safe.
Yeah, right. Uko Finn with
Yeah, I don't
$5
have-
donation. Thank you very much for that.
I don't have the player's handbook here. The whole favorite enemy thing. Like we're going to be able to find out what extra about orcs in general. I'm assuming you've got all the books because I don't have any of them here anymore.
Well, yeah, specifically, you will know. Actually, I'll find it real fast.
According to the link someone posted in chat, you have advantage on wisdom survival checks to track your favorite enemies, as well as on any intelligence checks to remember
Right.
stuff about them, and you know their language.
Right. Okay. So if we can hide and listen to some, I'm going to be able to. Yes, I do speak orc. I do that much.
Yeah.
So
And you
I
also
could
know
have
how
rolled
many.
twice. The who's what? I know what?
You can as a survival check. I believe it's a survival check anyway. If you have a favorite enemy in the area, you'll know exactly how many there are.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it would be
Okay.
convenient.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I can smell them. It's like, okay, that's at Fredwin, and that's
Yeah,
it.
even if you walk single file, you can figure it out.
Yeah, you can no
Yeah.
matter what. If they try to disguise their tracks and everything, you still
Yes.
know. You
Spent
just
my life
know.
studying these guys, right?
Yeah.
This is okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So let's go ahead and transport you guys over. You guys say you're heading straight for the farm, right?
Well, we're following the tracks. We're
The-
hoping to be
All
able
the
to
tracks
find
that
the
sounded
scouts
like they were
and
heading
bop
towards
them.
the farm.
We're
Yeah,
not
that's exactly
blundering into the farm. We're
Yeah.
carefully trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So give us.
Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, as you're near the farm, you see a couple of orcs with torches in their hand currently, and they're moving over to another portion of one of the other houses, and trying to set fire to it. It's it takes a process. Seems like it would just go right up in flames if you watch movies, but it actually takes a bit of effort to set things
It's made out of asbestos.
Yeah.
It's an asbestos farm.
And using the favorite enemy abilities to how many orcs are on this farm? We're seeing 2, but more. I'm looking tracks, smelling,
the tracks,
whatever
everything that tells you. When you got near here, you saw the tracks where even the dig marks of where the wagons went, going more north.
Okay.
You saw 4. Like you discerned 4
orcs. 4 orcs left. Okay.
And you still see right now, at least following the tracks into this area, you only see or only discern 2 orcs in here, and you see them outright. They're not trying to hide. They're like, got torches and they're trying to burn stuff. So that's what's going on.
All right, let's take them out.
Surprise.
Actually, you know what? As you guys were approaching, do stealth checks. Everybody do stealth checks. I'll do one for Govanen, which is not going to be hard for him. Oh shit! Never mind.
So I have disadvantage for my armor. Can I have a bonus for the fact that I'm trying to stay like at least a move back from them? Or
crap rolls
where
today.
are you? You said no. Yeah, if you were holding back, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'll give you a
plus. Give you a +4. Never mind.
Okay. Apparently, it doesn't matter because well, no, it does because I have disadvantage, so it takes the worst one. So yeah.
Oh. Right. So you get
+4.
So you
get 18.
18.
Yeah.
So okay. So
totally
interestingly enough, everybody like Govanen all but disappears.
Of course. It's my boy.
But yeah, he did a crit again, so that was amazing on his
brother.
stealth. We have Tao's check. Tao is super stealthy as usual. Interestingly enough, I don't know how, but Eric is doing, I don't know, like more
I'm ball of the foot itself. I'm like moving slowly and carefully back there, but I'm just sort of
doing good.
Keep up with the extra distance helps.
Apparently, Fen, yeah.
and for whatever reason, Lisan, maybe upon seeing orcs and
got
just
so excited,
just absolutely fuming right now. I'd imagine you're just fuming. You hate them so much, apparently.
Orcs must die.
Yeah. You, I'm just gonna, just for the sake of embarrassment or whatever, I'm just going to say, you call them out. You're like, hey! And roll initiative.
Good job. I'm so proud.
Yeah. You're overcome with emotion right now.
Overcome with emotion.
Yeah.
Oh, I failed.
No. Sunday Morning Heroes is live streamed 8 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go to sundaymorningheroes.com for more time zone information. You should be there, join the chat, and get to see it live.